All right, so perhaps Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles reboot wasn't as far from the source material as we thought. While the Paramount project may have been plagued with controversies, the new film's leaked screenplay reveals several intriguing callbacks to the old franchise. Slash Film reports that people at the Latino Review got their hands on the movie's script from an unidentified source. Although they didn't officially post it, one of the writers did disclose a few details on their Twitter account. Most notably, he said that Craig, Bebop, and Rocksteady all made appearances in the film, as does Dimension X, which is Craig's home. This would simply that would imply the Alien storyline is still very much at play, at least in the draft that they got. However, it is important to note that the studio shut down pre-production on the film last month, citing script problems. So it's entirely possible that none of these characters will appear in the final movie. Of course, we talked about Michael Bay's reboots here on the show multiple times, making fun of it, obviously, because of the whole alien thing. But we'll see what happens. The Dracula reimagining Harker looks like it's finally moving forward, but a director change has been made. In February 2011, Orphan director Jamal Colette Serra, he was not an orphan, he directed the movie Orphan, came aboard to direct the okay, there we go. You guys know we have glitches on our system over here. It always loves to play music when we're talking. Anyway, he came aboard to direct a Warner Brothers movie which follows Scotland Yard detective Jonathan Harker as he tries to track down Dracula. Russell Crowe joined the project this past February, but now Eli Roth looks like he will be taking over the director's chair. Warner Brothers is keen on fast-tracking the movie, and Colette Serra has his plate full with one of his projects is Liam Neeson's action movie Nonstop, thus allowing Roth to come in and take over. While it was previously reported that Crowe would be playing Harker, Deadline notes that he'll actually be playing the role of Dracula. There you go. If Russell Crowe does indeed take the role of Dracula, he will add Dracula to his iconic role list as of iconic character list. That also includes Noah and the character he'll be playing in the Les Mis movie, which I forgot who he's playing. I forgot the name of the character. He plays the cop. That's after I forgot all their names now. Let's move on. He'll also play the father of Clark Kent in Man of Steel. So there you go. Speaking of Man of Steel, some pretty interesting Man of Steel tidbits came out the other day, and one of them was the new synopsis, which I'll read in a bit. But the other one was, in a not so surprising move, Warner Brothers has decided to post-convert director Zack Snyder's Superman reboot Man of Steel to 3D. A page was up on the IMAX website saying that Man of Steel and IMAX 3D experience would be coming. However, that page has been taken down, and there was no word if indeed that would be true or not. Some of the higher up executives did not talk about the subject, so who knows? It's still going to happen in IMAX, but it will be converted to 3D. Although it's definitely not a shock at the major studio releases being given the 3D treatment, considering that a lot of movies are given 3D treatments now. Some asked why the movie wasn't shot in 3D in the first place. Christopher Nolan, who is the producer on the project, is a fan of filming in the digital format. So the thought could be that Warner Brothers always wanted to post convert it anyway, and the movie doesn't come out until next year. So I mean, a goodish. Let's say goodish. Conversion is possible. So, because we always hear complaints about how a movie is converted wrong, or it looks weird, and you always get bad feedback from people saying the post conversion to 3D is always a little weird. So anyway, Christopher Nolan, of course, besides that, he's producer on the company, but he's also bringing in his good friend Hans Zimmer, who has composed pretty much almost all his movies, Batman movies, and I think he also did Inception. I think, yes, he did. Hans Zimmer would be composing the score for Man of Steel. And yeah, so there you go. Oh, also, Man of Steel will star Henry Cavill. He starred in Immortals. He's gonna start a movie later this year called In the Cold Light of Day. He was also in the show The Tudors. I think that's what the show he was on. I know he's on a I know he was on a TV show. I think that it is The Tudors. He will play, of course, Superman. Amy Adams is in the project as well, along with Michael Shannon, Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, and Lawrence Fishburne. They're rounding out the cast. So here's the new synopsis for Spider-Man, Superman, Man of Steel. In the pantheon of superheroes, Superman is the most recognizable and revered character of all time. Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, is a young 20-something journalist who feels alienated by powers beyond his imagination. Transported years ago to Earth from Krypton, a highly advanced distant planet, Clark struggles with the ultimate question: why am I here? Sharpened by the values of his adopted parents, Martha, played by Diane Lane, and Jonathan Kent, played by Kevin Costner, Clark discovers having extraordinary abilities means making difficult decisions. When the world is in dire need of stability, even a greater than and an even greater threat emerges. There you go. Clark must become a man of steel to protect the people he loves and shine as the world's beacon of hope. Superman, Man of Steel opens in theaters next year in June 14th to be exact. So there you go. You can look forward to that next year. Let's move. Should we move on? Yes, we should. Yeah, no. I don't even know anymore. Actually, yeah, I think that's a good point to stop.